So, Brad, would you describe that as a professional performance, considering the frustrations in the first half?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, with how they set up, I think they was trying to, try and counteract on one of our mistakes, I think, really, with how they set up. And I think at times it was a bit frustrating for our players that they were sitting such a low block. It was more like a pre-season game at times for them, for the opposition. It was couldn't get the ball off us. We kept moving it. And, some teams like this in the FA Cup, you can have a banana skin, and we spoke about this half-time, slightly changed it a little bit and told them to move the ball a little bit quicker, less touches, and you'll get your chance. But I think we came out second half and I thought the boys they've done a real professional job to get through today.
There were some challenges that you had before the game in terms of not having Craig King available. He showed his qualities, obviously, in this team and as a leader within the group. But James Taylor didn't look out of place at all in terms of what he could do in the game, but also how he affected the game with some crucial saves.
Yeah, I think, there was a couple of hard tackles on him early on within the first 2 or 3 minutes, and he's a young 17, 18-year-old kid. He's going to have a good future in front of him, and I think how he's handled it, him and Sam Carman, obviously backing each other and pushing each other all the way. I think he made a good save when we was 1-0 up as well, and fair play to the lad. And I've got huge praise for James and obviously his family moving forward. But we had no concerns him coming in for Kingy today. We rate him highly. I think he's a good goalkeeper and obviously a clean sheet at 18 years of age in the FA Cup is something on his CV.
And Montel seemed to, I think it's fair to say, it took him a while to get going in the season after the beginning of the season with his short stint in Love Island. But he's really made an impact in the last few games in particular, and he's scored again in the FA Cup, having scored 2 in the previous round. How pleased are you in terms of, because you've changed positions, almost got him a little bit higher up the pitch. How pleased are you with him and his performance?
Yeah, I think he rotates really well with obviously Juddy. I think he's a good player. He likes the FA Cup. I think I tell him we're playing FA Cup every week. But no, he got a bit of a talking to at half time in terms of how I wanted him to play a little bit more higher and a bit more confident on the ball. And I think he's a very, very dangerous player and he's a good player on the ball. So pleased for Monts. He's done really well coming in, missing a lot of pre-season. He looks after himself really well, and obviously we had to work the boys, and he's getting there.
And in terms of the group and the collectiveness that we have here, whether it's the subs coming on, players that have travelled that might be injured, there seems to be a real strong support for anyone who's playing. And there's even a couple of players that were at home that were following the game today, both listening to the commentary and on Twitter. How special is that? Not just in terms of building. Alfie there.
Sorry about that.
How important is that in terms of building momentum going into this competition, but also for the rest of the season? Yeah,
I think you had to fight for your shirt. Everyone, what we installed in this squad, and the squad's very good. The chairman's obviously pleased with how it's going and what we're doing, and can see some assets as well of what we've got at the club. Everyone wants to be playing week in, week out, but it can't happen. But good teams win things, and teams win things together. It's important that they see that, and the boys are still out there, the players who ain't done minutes and some players who came on and they're wanting to do more. So we're away at Gorleston. They've got a long journey home. We ain't telling them to do that, and they all want to be a part of what we're doing. I think it's 9 games now unbeaten, another clean sheet. But yeah, I'm pleased with the boys, and all of them. I ain't got a problem with anyone being out of the team, and they applaud everyone and they push each other week in, week out, and that's what you want to have. That's a good sign of a good team and a good squad.
And lastly, I think special praise must go to Goalston. They did give us a good game. They defended well, and the fans clapping us off there at the end. And I suppose we talked about at the top of the game how special the FA Cup can be in terms of reaching out to communities like this that perhaps don't get to see teams of our quality week in, week out.
Yeah, no, it's important for them as well. They done really well. The boys were positive towards getting the job done. The fans were clapping us off as well. Their fans, we clapped them off as well for their support, and they're a good team. I think they'll do well in this year in the league, and obviously I think they gave us quite a lot of respect in the first half, and fair play to them. fair play to them. The FA Cup, they need to play to their strengths, and they tried to do that, but it wasn't to be, and we just kept persevering, and we've done a real good job to get through.